So the first thing I would like to bring to your attention is something that I'm reminded about often at family parties by my mum at least every 3 months, sometimes by my sisters, nieces and nephews who I'm very close to. They're like in their early 20s now,
Hmm.
who are like, yeah, you're that weird guy. And the reason why they say I'm that weird guy is that at a very early age, a lot of people in where in the streets where we lived and the ends where we lived, there was like, yeah, remember your mum told us about that time you pissed in the VCR.
Wow.
So I pissed in the VCR.
Okay. And right, let's try and unravel this.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't feel very comfortable talking about it, but I thought you're my guy, so I talk about it.
Absolutely. So you're putting it in the box to get rid of it. You want it,
Yeah,
you want to get rid of the memory.
maybe get rid of. Maybe you helped me process what was going on.
How? So you're 8.
I was around 6 to 8 years old.
Okay, fine. Now I'm trying to put myself in the mindset. I remember when I was 6, I watched Planet of the Apes, and it really scared me.
I'm
And
sure.
and I found it just randomly in the VCR, and uh, I was very scared.
But because you thought there was real monkeys out there, like
I
people monkeys.
just suddenly just seeing like a gorilla on a horse chasing men. Like when I was 6, I was
Change
like,
your world, didn't it?
what is going on here? And had I had been able to smash and break the VCR then, I would have done it. And what I'm trying to figure out is maybe you'd seen something that freaked you out and you had to destroy the VCR.
I did see some white stuff on the VCR.
What did you see? And this is the days of tracking. Remember when you used to get your fingers out to try and get the crackles on the top of the screen to try and get rid of those?
There was a lot going on. I remember people were very angry when there wasn't sellotape and you didn't stick a piece of paper in the front of the VHS because then you couldn't record on it.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
people was trying.
yeah.
Do you remember them
I
days?
do, I do,
So
yeah.
maybe there was some associated stress with maybe I'd got rid of all the sellotape because I was obsessed with sellotape when I was a kid.
Right, okay.
I used to wrap it around trees, bruv.
Whoa, okay.
And my mom used to be angry with me because it's like, why are you doing this, kid? This is
Is that how your mum said it?
yeah, like why are you doing this? There's a lot going on. So I was just be running around wrapping things, and I encourage everybody else, all the other kids, my mates and stuff from
Yeah,
the
yeah,
ends, to do the same thing. So basically, on our street, there's a lot of things wrapped,
yeah,
gates and that.
yeah.
You know, like the gates.
Yeah, some poor kid. Is he a mummy? No, he just hung out near girls. So when did you first realise? And we'll get back to the pissing in the VCR. But when did you first look at a tree and think, "I'm wrapping that"?
Nah,
Like,
because like they seem a bit. I always thought they were
do
a
you
bit.
watch Spring Watch and get a bit edgy, and find yourself thinking that needs plastic?
Nah, you know what? I always thought trees were aggressive. You know,
Okay.
people say like, "Oh, trees are nice.
Yeah.
Sit under a tree, sustenance,
Yeah.
shade,
Yes.
maybe apples."
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, this is looking like a prick. Like the tree was, it's big,
Yeah.
it's taking up space.
Yeah.
We had one in our garden that somebody had planted, no one wanted it. So maybe that's what it is. Early family memories where no one really liked trees.
Wow. So you, but I love that because I went for a stage when I was a kid and I can't quite explain it. It stopped when my dad caught me, but I used to get up at like 3 in the morning and I put like toilet paper into the toaster
Oh,
to see, just how much I could burn. And my dad came down, like one day, 3 in the morning, and I had a fucking roll of the stuff in there just burning away.
was it kitchen roll or toilet roll?
It was kitchen roll by the time he caught me.
Kitchen roll goes
Yeah.
up, you know?
So it goes
That
up.
goes
But it was,
up, bro.
but when you sort of look back at your childhood and you go, I have no idea. But I didn't even have an alarm clock, but I would like will myself awake and then creep downstairs to our house and just think I'm gonna light that. Thank God I got caught. Otherwise, I'd have moved on the sofas. But do you know what I mean? It's that weird. But there's no way of like figuring out other than like oddly being a comedian. Now you're like, well, of course that's the kind of thing a comedian would do, and it's about the ignition and trying to do something. And clearly he wanted to ignite something in his soul, and
Oh,
clearly,
yes, artistically.
and you could sort of you could analyze it 1,000 ways. But let's not muck around. We're both weird kids.
Yeah, we
You
was
sellotape in a tree. Your poor mum must have been looking at you, going, "What am I going to do with this kid?"
no, very much so. And
The other boys are reading.
they read it. Well, maybe that, I don't know if, maybe they even read it. But you know, footy and that, we used to get involved in that stuff. But then I would get obsessed with something. I was like, I'm gonna that tree up.
But
On the
isn't
way to
that-
school, I'm like, I'm gonna that tree. And then sometimes I used to steal sellotape from school. I used to steal that.
Yeah.
2 Pritt sticks on the sellotape. And on the way back home, I'd be like, lads, I'm gonna wrap that tree.
And did any of your mates ever go, oh, I don't know, mate, should we just not talk to girls?
Okay, so there's another thing now you have me unpack it. I remember at an early age always being known as a bad influence.
Okay.
But in the context of the things that was going on, I don't think wrapping trees in sellotape is the worst thing that you
Oh.
could be the ringleader of.
Mate, that would be a palate cleanser in Top Boy. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, can you,
The shame.
yeah.
Got them keys. Yeah, but I gotta wrap this tree.
Exactly.
Gotta wrap them trees.
Where's Guz? He's down Ryman's. He's got a load of post-it notes. He's gonna fuck up a hedge. But it is weird. It's a bad influence because it's so strange that if I was the mum or the dad of a son and my son's mate, you know, you go, oh, so what have you been up to, Guz? And just little yous, they're going, I quite like sellotaping trees. You'd be like, this is how it begins. Genuinely, I like he'll throw a goat at Buckingham Palace.
You know what? If you told someone in Cov, yeah, because just last week I saw him in the Buckingham Palace. He dashed a goat at one of the men in the hats.
Yes.
They'd be like, yeah, he's probably done that.
Yeah. But that being said, it would be a bloody good computer game.
That would be a good game.
Instead of Angry Birds, where you've got to throw various animals at the hats of the guards outside Buckingham Palace.
Angry Birds, dash a goat. Dash a goat would that would get downloaded quick.
Is dash? Dash means throw.
To throw.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's the etymology of that? Could I have sounded any whiter?
No.
But tell me what's
it's an incredible word with a profound answer.
Yeah.
The first time I ever heard dash was, you know, them big, thick cough stones, smooth one, pebbles.
Yeah.
And they were dashing them through someone's window.
Oh.
Like top bins with them. Some people are really good at it. So you can get top bin with a foot is like, oh, it's all right.
Yeah.
Then man could like, look at that window on the 6th floor. And then, like that, the whole window would shatter. And someone would stick their head out and say, you f***ing bastard.
So, and they're right.
They're right.
But, so were you a tearaway or were you just like imaginative and weird?
Yeah, go on.
No, because you're sort of painting an image where it's sort of, I don't know, I could just imagine, like, you strike me as somebody that was probably a bit ADHD. There's lots going on. Your brain is working at 1,000,000 miles an hour. But I'm thinking about your teacher, because also you have clear respect for elders. And that's what's fascinating.
Yeah.
So you have your missus, you're a mom, you're a sir, you're very gentle. And yet there's this underbelly of weirdness,
madness. Like, I tell you what else I used to get in a lot of trouble for. You know, whenever there was a mini revolution in school, there was always mini revolutions.
Right.
All the time. Yeah. It was like an Arab Spring every single week.
Yeah.
Like in the canteen. Like, they used to do this thing called Australian crunchies. Do you ever have them at school, Australian crunchies?
No, what's that?
It's like a shit dessert that they used to do, yeah?
I thought it was like when you sort of like a wrestling move.
No. It was a food. It was
Right.
a food item. And it wasn't even my beef. I didn't even mind the Australian crunchies. But one of my mates was like, I can't take this anymore. And the dinner lady would be like, you'll have what you're gonna have. Yeah. Remember them days where people didn't care about swearing? There was no child safety or nothing like that.
Yeah.
You'll have what you're having, you little prick.
Yeah.
So she very aggressively gave the Australian crunchy to him. He looked at me and I was like, and he meant that to dash it at her. So he dashed the Australian crunchy at her. Someone came in behind him, took the whole tray, dashed it towards the dinner lady and the dinner men. We had bare dinner men in our school, which everyone used to put pressure on them for. Like, why are you a dinner man for? Leave me alone. I'm just trying to do my job.
Yeah,
so that got through. And I was the one who got pulled into the head teacher's office. Oh, you instigated that.
That's so interesting.
All I did was nod.
All you did was the eyes.
Yeah.
So were you the ringleader? Were you the sort of Svengali figure?
But not necessarily because I wanted to be. Like, I don't, even now, people are like, oh, I heard that happen there. I bet Guz was there. Guz was there, but Guz was eating his rap. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't I didn't push him. I didn't push him off the bridge. I was just viewing what happened.
But let's get back to the VCR.
Yeah.
So what happened to the VCR? So that you were known to your relatives and your young mates as the little boy that had weed in the VCR.
Yeah, my mum.
Which sounds like an update of The Boy That Cried Wolf, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Beware the kid that pissed in the VCR. Can you remember what you watched?
I can't. You know what? I can't even remember anything being on apart from. Do you remember when you press the on button and it would go, and something would settle?
Yeah.
It was a tape, and then I just remember visually, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, and I just bashed the flap open,
Yeah.
and I've
You
just
peed in it.
pissed it. And then okay, here's a
Well,
mad
you
thing.
must have been terrified of your mum or your dad found it out.
But I didn't.
How did everyone find out?
Why it didn't work?
And
it was wet.
Sure. Okay, sure. So
It didn't work. It was wet.
yeah,
And then someone was like, what was happening here? And I was there like, my mother affirms it and tell the truth. I was like, Mom, I did a pshab in it. Pshab means piss. And I remember her looking at me thinking,
I'm gonna have to get rid of this.
Get
yeah,
from the world.
Mate.
Not just from the house, from the world. I must kill this motherfucker and bury him. Yeah? I remember thinking that. And what
is that moment like when you're 8 years old and you say the reason the VCR isn't working is because I've urinated it, Mum?
Okay,
Like,
I want to change my mind. I think I was 6.
Okay.
Because I remember by 8, life was a lot more serious. So I want to say this might be 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm in that, that cusp of like, I remember the thing I was most impressed with when I was pissing it started smoking.
Yeah.
Right? And so
and you thought, I'm a dragon.
I thought my piss could smoke.
Yeah.
I had smoking piss.
Yeah.
And in my head for a minute, I was like, this is magical. I need to
It's so
I need to show somebody
But
about
it's
this.
the fact that you told the truth. That's what's mesmerizing.
Yeah, I was always truthful.
Yeah.
Bro, I was always even now, this is what gets me into a bit of trouble nowadays. It's be like, oh, what was that like in 2010? And I can't really, I have to tell the truth. Which is, I think is also from my mum.
Right.
She's like, you're gonna about.
So what did your mum do then? What was the repercussions of that?
She threw it at me.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is completely fair.
Oh, you can. I mean, that you've done all right. If that's the worst thing that
She
happens.
threw it. It was heavy.
Yeah, yeah, sure, but you
He hit
burnt
me in
that.
the shoulder.
Yeah, yeah. That's
And
fine.
I don't say anything negative about the situation because I pissed. She was
She
a single
pissed in the
mom,
VCR.
and I pissed at VCR and I broke it. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
And
I
they
know.
were-
I've never been more certain of yes. I know exactly what you mean.
So she threw it at me, but I never piss again in one.